Change your heart, change your life, change the planet.
Hey everybody, it's Tim Van Orden, and today I want to talk to you about the myth of emotional eating. Or at least that's what many of you have been led to believe by some prominent YouTubers in the so-called vegan community. They tell you that emotional eating is not real, it's not legitimate, it doesn't exist, it's all in your head, or maybe it's in your heart. Well, it is real, and I think these people are doing a great deal of harm by saying things like that. They're dismissing legitimate feelings. They're dismissing a legitimate experience and trying to shame you for having it. So, because I'm a person who's dealt with emotional eating pretty much my whole life and is going through one of those moments right now, I thought I'd pick up the camera and share what is going on with me and how I process it, because this is a real thing. Okay. So my family is going through a great deal of stress right now. We had a cement truck driving down the road, clip the power lines going to our house, and not only did they rip them out of the house, they ripped a chunk of the house with it. Luckily nobody was hurt, but we lost our phone line, we lost power, we lost internet, yada yada yada. And the company involved that owns the truck is not taking responsibility. They're saying it's not our fault, it's not our problem. So we're dealing with the police, we're dealing with insurance companies, we're dealing with lawyers, we're dealing with all kinds of fun stuff. And it's stressful around here right now. And I'm being asked to be the mediator with these people because my family just gets hot and goes into rage mode and conversation doesn't go well. So I dealt with that when I got up. And then I made my green smoothie, went to the garden, picked my kale, went to the orchard, picked my blueberries, made about a liter, 32 ounces or so of green smoothie, and drank it a little bit faster than normal because I was stressed. This is not a pleasant thing to deal with. And I finished the green smoothie in maybe 15 or 20 minutes, which is faster than I would normally drink it, or chew it, sip it. And I noticed that feeling of having a distended belly, my stomach sticking out, it's still sticking out, and how uncomfortable that feels. And the first thing that happens to me when I get that full belly feeling is that I want it to go away. And what does my brain tell me is the best way to make that feeling go away? To eat more. I will eat until the point where I get sick, and then I just want to lie down and check out from the world. And maybe that's my brain's strategy. Maybe it's telling me that we don't want you to be active right now. We want you to be knocked down. We want you to go to sleep. We want you to check out because there's too much stress for you to be awake and present in the world. So let's find a way to just knock you out. So I had my green smoothie, I had my full belly, and now suddenly I've got this urge to eat more, to emotionally eat, to quiet the discomfort. And that's why people emotionally eat, because we have an id, intolerable discomfort. Right? I'm not talking about the intolerable pain of having your hand cut off, but it's an intolerable experience in the body, mind, emotions. It's really hard to describe, hard to put your finger on, but it's intolerable, and the brain says, we got to make this go away. I can't go on like this. It just does not feel good. I need it to go away. I'm going to find a way to comfort you. I'm going to find a way to soothe you. Food, that's the answer. Even if food was the problem, even if food is the reason that you're feeling bad, the brain still says, well, food is great. We've got all this incredible, abundant food in 2015, all these sweet things you can eat. Maybe I'll just have a quart of blueberries or 3 more bananas. That'll fix it. Except that it won't. Because this desire to eat is not coming from hunger. It's coming from the brain trying to soothe my discomfort, my intolerable discomfort, my id. All right? So, what do? I acknowledge that. I acknowledge that I'm in a state of intolerable discomfort, and I'm likely to eat too much right now, and that's only going to make things worse. So the moment I feel that discomfort, it's like, okay, get away from the food. Walk outside. I don't care what kind of food it is. I don't care if it's raw vegan. It doesn't matter. Get away from it. So I take myself out here and I go for a walk. And then I think about that feeling. I get in touch with the feeling. Okay, I notice that I'm holding my stomach in. Why am I holding my stomach in? because culturally we've been trained that bellies are not cool. So many of us go throughout the day holding in our stomachs. And because my stomach is full of green smoothie right now, holding it in is putting pressure on my organs. So my organs cannot function at a optimal rate. I'm not digesting as quickly either. So number one, where am I feeling the discomfort? Well, my belly, that's one of the main places. Okay, relax it. There it is. How's that feel? Wow, that's really sticking out. Okay, physically that feels better, but now I notice some discomfort up here, like, oh, you can't walk around with the belly sticking out like that. Even if it's just green smoothie stomach distension, you can't walk around like that. That's not cool. So by letting my stomach relax and getting rid of some of the physical discomfort, now I have this identity discomfort, another form of id coming in, saying, no, we have to hold that belly in. We can't have you walking around in public with a belly sticking out like that. Just not acceptable. Okay, let's acknowledge that. Let's not try to shut that up with some more food. Let's acknowledge that discomfort. You see, when you're feeling an intolerable discomfort, which is going to move you towards a craving, because whenever we're uncomfortable, the brain turns on the reward center and says, ooh, let's find a way to soothe them by giving them some form of reward. Maybe it's food, maybe it's sex, maybe it's drugs, maybe it's praise, maybe it's the internet, maybe it's gambling, who knows. But when the reward center gets turned on, you're going to move towards cravings. So getting in touch with that process, getting in touch with the discomfort first, can clue you in that you're about to engage in craving behavior. You're about to engage in habitual, unconscious soothing of whatever flavor you are used to doing, or maybe a combination of flavors. So first thing, check in. I'm feeling uncomfortable. Okay. When I'm feeling uncomfortable, I usually eat too much. So let's acknowledge the discomfort, let's be gentle with it, and let's walk away from food. Let's get as far away from food as we can. And then let's walk around and get ourselves immersed in a less stressful place. I'm walking through the woods behind my house to try to lower my levels of stress as I allow that discomfort to be there. Instead of trying to suppress it or push it away, I allow it to be there. It's like, okay, it's not fun. I'm stressed because of what my family's dealing with. I'm stressed because I have too much food in my gut. So let's just be gentle right now. Let's walk it off. Okay? Let's not try to eat it off. Let's walk it off. And then after a while, maybe out here for half an hour, 45 minutes, I'll start to feel better. My desire to eat will go away, and I can go back in the house and work on things in there. But as long as I've got that discomfort, I've got to keep myself away from the things that I crave. Even if they're good for me, when I'm hungry, they can be bad for me when I'm not hungry and I'm craving. And that's a really important distinction, and that's why I don't consume massive amounts of carbohydrates. That's why I don't carb the F up. Because with me, it leads to depression, it leads to anxiety, it leads to emotion leading. The more I eat, the more I want to eat to try to make the pain go away. So I've got to try to reduce that stress. I've got to try to reduce that load, emotionally and physically. Walk it off, get my body moving. Not only is it going to help me get rid of the food in here, but just getting out there and being present to the world is also going to introduce all kinds of wonderful neurochemicals into my brain that's going to change my experience. All right, and put a different load on my cells so my cells start behaving differently. They start dealing with metabolites differently and removing waste products more efficiently just because I'm moving them. So if you find yourself in a state of emotional eating, number one, you're under stress. You got triggered. Number two, where am I feeling it? Get in touch with it, get in tune with it, and then go walk it off. Move. Get away from the stressor. Get away from the things that you can indulge in. Walk it off. All right? Get out there, explore your world. All right. I love you guys. Bye. I'm not in a rush to get the workout done. For me, it's about creating an adventure. In fact, that's exactly what I call it. When people ask me what I'm doing, I'm like, oh, I'm going to go have an adventure, or I'm going to create an adventure.